Hello, welcome back to the BCS podcast episode post game. How was your weekend, Cozy?
What's good for one of us was great for one of us. The other one, not so great, but no, I had a great weekend. So if that tells you anything, what happened?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I mean, it is what it is. Like, it kind of
I mean,
almost
you called
nearly
it.
exactly what happened,
Yeah.
in my opinion. But the only funny thing that I saw was I think Ryan Day was getting interviewed on the Bus with the Boys, and Taylor Lewan got him to admit, he's like, after that first quarter, like, do you think it's happening again? And Ryan's like, yeah, dude, of course I did. So that he's at least humanized. It sucks that I kind of like the guy now.
It was after the first pick. Did I think it was happening again? And I'm not going to lie. I kind of stood there and I go, oh no, here we go again. I actually got a text message from a friend who goes, we're never beating them. We're never going to beat them. And I'm just like, it's okay. Chill down. Like, it's going to be okay. But no, I mean, you called it exactly right. I kind of was a little bit conservative in my score prediction last week. I did not realize we would keep you out of the end zone, which was very interesting. I actually think the cold weather hurt you guys more than it did us.
Yeah, so that's what I said in the preview. Look, man, Bryce was horrific. The defense I thought wasn't the worst, but I hate Zeke Berry. I'm on record saying I hate Zeke Berry. It is what it is, but it's like, dude, anyone in the country basically that's one-on-one against Jeremiah, that's probably what's going to happen. I guess by the letter of the rule, it was a touchback, but like if you call that a touchback, that's just so bad for the sport.
Here's my thing is, I want to see, did he have full possession when the tip of the ball touches the line? Because if he had full possession, then it's a touchdown. If he doesn't, it could be a touchback. But the other thing is, if I'm running at the 10-yard line and I don't step out of bounds and I keep running with the ball, he never actually fumbled it. So it's a very tricky rule there.
Yeah, I remember when they started reviewing it, I'm like, what the fuck are they looking for? Like,
and then they showed
confused.
Then they showed like moving because he made a football move and a football action. So, I mean, if we're going to start calling that like a touchback, then you need to call everything every time the ball moves in someone's hand like a fumble.
Yeah, I don't know. The refs, the refs at home said it was a fumble because he didn't have it as he crossed the goal line. But like, again, if you watch that play and you think fumble out of the back of the end zone, like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah.
But whatever. We needed more than that help. Clearly, I don't know. I walked away from this saying I don't know if Sayan's good or not, which I know is probably funny. Just the O-line was so good. It had no pressure. I mean, it kind of looked like almost every other game Ohio State's really had this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Carnell Tate and Jeremiah were fine. Bo Jackson's pretty good. Shout out to Fat Tony for recruiting him. And just the idea that we're going to start shoulder tackling in the game, I don't know. I mean, I think they said that Bo Jackson had like 8 yards before contact, and he had like 100 and something yards rushing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a lot of guys. It almost looked like the roles were reversed from the last couple of years. Not almost. It's exactly what happened. Where you guys would bump into us, you'd fall forward, you'd get up and not react to us getting in your face. And after the game, we looked like you guys as well. It was tough, and I think this team needed it. I couldn't be more out on the head coach at this time. Ryan Day, again, one of the bigger cornball like pussies, for lack of a better term. Just a New England loser, like walks up to you and is like, get the fuck off the field. Like, it's my field. And you're like, yes, sir. And then leave. It's just, man, I would have paid for him to Juwan Howard him right there. Listen, like, I know Juwan got a lot of hate. I said it the other night to Cozy in Discord. It's like, look, I understand Juwan gets a lot of hate, but like, man, that's one of the most real thing I've ever seen a coach do. Slap the shit out of the other coach. But I don't know, man. It's just tough. you're really going to have to reassess your program. Like I've been saying for a long time, this game does not matter, and Michigan needs to stop acting like it's the end all be all. But at the same time, it was very good that it was because they got their ass kicked. Shout out Ryan Day for not throwing the ball down our throats like he could have and decided to run the ball down our throats to really show how much of a bunch of bitchless pussies my entire program is at the moment.
Yeah, the 12-minute drive was Buckeye football. It literally was like 4 years. That whole drive was like 4 years of hearing, "You're soft. You can't do this. You're just soft. You're a bunch of pussies." I mean, that's what it was. And it felt very gratifying. Even though we didn't score a touchdown, it was still a 12-minute drive, and every play we basically ran. The one question I wanted, or the one thing where I knew the game was switching and momentum wise, and we didn't even get a touchdown on this drive, was the first drive where we kicked the field goal. Your player headbutted a referee. And I knew immediately, I'm like, oh, we're in their heads. Like, he lost his cool and headbutted a referee. One of the more unusual, I've never seen that before kind of plays. I will say this: you guys could have kept in the game very much close if we didn't score right before half.
Yeah, that was brutal.
That was kind of like the nail in the coffin. That was like
that you got the ball really deep in your end zone.
Yes.
I think the game was over when it was 2nd and 10. We got a 5-yard run, and it was a holding call that you guys declined.
Yes.
When you declined it to go to 3rd and 5, I was like, okay. I remember I started laughing, and I was like, Ryan Day is just like, you guys fucking suck. Right to our face.
Yep.
So, yeah.
By the way, first holding call, they have actually thrown a flag on Ohio State since 2023, which is just amazing. And then we declined it. We were like, nah, we're good. We're going to make them get this 3rd and 5. And I'm like, oh, he's really laying it all out there.
Yeah.
There was some stuff that could have been better for us. But I think it was more of like just a weight was lifted off our shoulders because, I mean, you saw how the stadium was when it was 3-0 and we threw a pick, and it was kind of rocking in there. And it was like, oh shit. If you had scored a touchdown on that drive, Bryce had found who was open. He was open by like 15 yards.
Marsh was open the whole game.
Yeah.
0 targets.
He literally missed them wide open down the seam, and it would have been 10-0 Michigan. I would have got really worried then. But when we held them to a field goal, I was like, okay, like they just had 2 drives in our territory, and the defense came up big.
I mean, the first play of the game, Jordan Marshall was on so many painkillers, he couldn't see a foot in front of him. I mean, that's Jordan. If that's Justice Haynes, it's 7-0 first play of the game.
Yeah.
And then it's like, uh-oh. But
yeah,
I mean, you were right. It was just, and the fact that made it so much worse is you guys just act like it was another game. Like all I wanted at the end that would give you a little bit more hope would have been like if you guys would have, granted, a few of your players were trying to plant a flag and go crazy because that's just how it is. But the majority of them were like, nah, we're good. And then not even running it up, taking knees at the end. It was like, okay, cool. Like, it's just whatever. I mean, obviously, Jermaine Matthews, like he's, y'all Samaj. He was run over our recruits, being like, "Suck my dick, fuck you guys." Yada Jackson, who was looking for a fucking flag all game.
Yes,
he had the flag, was trying to plant it and shit. But like, it is what it is. Like again, I have no problem with it.
It had
I was trying to research when they decided to guard the logo because they talked about that before the game, fire everyone, but. I don't know. I mean, look, it's the same thing I said, about everyone else. If you want to fight in the field. Like, not after the whistle. It's just dumb. That's some little brother shit. Not even Ohio State shit. It's little brother shit, which is way worse.
It very much felt like to me, and I don't know if it felt like this to you, but the 2019 game. Michigan started out hot. You don't think so? Oh, it did.
Not at all. Because 2019, we had 0 chance to win. All I said before that game was I want a chance to win. I mean, we missed the fucking extra point of the first touchdown.
Correct.
And you guys were so much better. You score at will. Like it was like
Oh, I agree.
Half your drives were 70-yard touchdowns. Like I don't think it was like that at all. I thought it more felt like the 2023 game
Okay.
a little bit. Not as bad because you guys actually kind of had a little bit of chance in that game, but like the 2023 game you guys ever led, I feel like we were in control the entire time. Like a
Yeah.
little bit blip in the third where it was like, okay, hold on. But we had that similar drive where we sealed the game on a long field goal drive, and obviously you guys came down and had a chance to win with that. But like, I just felt it was more like I don't even know because obviously we haven't won in a dominant fashion like that. But it was like to me it almost felt like the Michigan State game where it was like it's clear Michigan's going to lose, and the game's been kind of decided for a long time. Like it
Yeah.
was just at halftime, you knew it was over,
Yeah.
and it was just like ugh. Like it was so cold. I was sitting there like I just want to go home. Fuck this, dude.
Yeah.
Everyone,
Um,
everyone at home and on the things like, look
he,
at all the red out there. Look, there was a lot of red.
there was.
Was it as
You
much as
called
the
it though.
TV?
You called
Is
it.
it as much as the TV says? No. Is it as much as there is every year? Yes. Like
Yes.
again, like that's the same amount of red they have every year. Again, I don't know what the filter was. The filter made it look like it was all red. And granted, there's a
Yes.
lot of
I know.
AI images going around that it was all red, which was
It
pretty
did.
funny.
Yes.
It was in our half of the end zone because we were in the same half.
Yes.
It was still like a third maybe Buckeye
Oh
fans,
yeah.
but like the rest of the stadium was all blue and all
Yep.
maize. Like it's the same thing every year because there's the away
I,
allotment down left, and then there's the part up top with the band.
yep.
So
I
I don't know.
think that the reason it was so much red or looked so much red, I mean, there was still some scattered on the right side, the
Yeah,
Ohio State homes or the Ohio State side. But I think the reason it was so much red is because every camera angle that they kept coming in on was right above your student section. And it
yeah,
was like
yeah,
directly looking at it. There was still, like you said there was going to be 30% Ohio State fans. I would say there was maybe a little less than that, even though.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. I mean, obviously at
I
the
mean,
end it looks like it because it was kind of like the Michigan
yes,
State game this year when we're at Michigan State. I was like, there's not really many Michigan fans here, and then at the end of the game, it's all Michigan fans, duh, because
yep.
it's blowout. But you know,
Um, yeah, I
whatever.
mean, it was very interesting because 2019 game though, that was when that was almost like a neutral site game in
Yeah,
2019.
that was
That
50-50.
that was the most Ohio State fans I've ever seen
Probably was
there.
like freaking 20.
Yeah. Um, but anyways, yeah, I mean, overall, it was a it was a very interesting drive home for the Ohioans because it snowed about 2 inches per hour, 2 inches maybe even per half hour after leaving the parking lot. And it was kind of treacherous. At one point, it was a definite whiteout on the way home. That was a little more nerve wracking than even the game was. But no, I mean, overall, I think that you guys have a lot to work on. Obviously, going into the off season, recruiting was pretty, I would say, pretty decent for you guys. Um, I think the Big Ten really did well. Like we're one day removed from National Signee Day. Or
Yeah. We signed
or
Hyder this morning. Those that follow me in the chat, or our Michigan chat, I was working through lunch yesterday, and Hyder was supposed to sign at lunch. They're like, "Oh, we'll sign at lunchtime," and I was like, "Fine, I'm on a hunger strike until then." He ended up signing this morning, so I had a really big breakfast this morning, which is great because I didn't eat dinner last night. I was like, "God damn!" So and there, our good friend of the program, Narrative Pusher, put out a funny tweet where it's like the grandma in the cage, and he's like, "My grandma is not allowed to leave the cage until Savion Hyder signs in Michigan, joining Wolverine Blake's hunger strike." Okay, I was like, whatever. But the only guy we lost was Julian Walker and Zion Robinson. He flipped, but we got that cracker with an AR motion, Brady Marquise. He's a white kid from Georgia, committed to Georgia, runs a 4.3, 4.4. So he's a super fast kid. And then Julian Walker, he's an edge rusher, really good player. Going to South Carolina. His dad is one of the strength and conditioning guys. Beamer said he would fire his dad if he didn't commit to South Carolina. So is that really
which
a
is
loss? Because the guy held a gun to his son's head, and I'm being made fun of by South Carolina fans because they flipped him. It's like, dude, you said you were going to fire his dad. But so when
oh
Shane Beamer gets fired in September next year, when they start 0-3, we can circle back to this and we can hire our good friend.
well, let me tell you, we are probably losing Chris Henry. It has not been confirmed yet, but it looks like he's going to Oregon. Obviously, there was some major news with Ohio State. Brian Hartline has been hired to coach USF, which
Or
there's
no,
got to be there's got to be someone in that athletic department that is a Buckeye, because this is the second head coach in a row that they're hiring
Yeah.
who's an alum. It's interesting, and you thought that your guy going to South Carolina was the most interesting recruiting story in the country, but let me tell you, we have a new one, and one that
Oh my God.
I've never heard of this, and this is the most outrageous thing that I think could ever
Kind of
happen in
funny.
recruiting. So if people haven't heard, there's a guy by the name of Legend Bay who is from
Again,
Texas.
you start off with the kid's name is Legend. Like, Jesus.
Correct. He is committed to Ohio State. He made a first visit to Ohio State for the Penn State game November 1st, and the next day he committed to Ohio State. He flipped his commitment from Tennessee to Ohio State. I don't know what exactly happened, but yesterday, National Letter of Intent Day, he's ready to sign off. He is 17 years old. You have to be 18 if you don't want a legal guardian to sign off with you. He's decked out in Ohio State gear. His table, I don't know what high school he goes to. I don't know what he goes to. Some high school he goes to, they have like in their own booth to sign on the National Letter of Intent. I don't know if you saw that, but he had everything was scarlet and gray. His whole unit, like everything he wore was scarlet and gray. Just everything. And his mom would not sign the letter of intent to send him to Ohio State. She said, I'm signing for Tennessee only. Now, here's the flip side of stuff. He's also on his Twitter account today and said that this tweet is going to get taken down here soon, but my mom is basically holding me hostage and won't let me sign with Ohio State, even though I don't want to go to Tennessee and want to go to Ohio State. And my brother will probably delete this tweet right now here soon because he has access to my Twitter and Instagram.
Buddy's in computer lab in his high school, running into the there, just logging on to Twitter out of here.
Yes. And you know what even the better part is?
I love this sport, man.
Did you see they had to separate him and his mom. The coaches had to get in between him and his mom because she wouldn't sign his national letter of intent to go to Ohio State. That I want to see the full video of everything from that national signing day, because that high school had to be great. I mean, that's got to be Landon Collins has got to be the closest to that, and she still let her son go to Bama.
Not even that. There was the one where it was the kid was trying to get away from. There was a kid from like Florida that was in gangs.
Yes, that was it. Yes,
and the mom had a Bama and Tennessee stuff on, and she's like, "Shit."
Yep.
Didn't want to get away from that bad man Urban Meyer. So,
but here's the thing: it's funny. She wanted him to do better. I've never seen this from a mom. Will not sign the letter of intent. And he's got, I think they said it's 18 days until he turns 18.
Yeah, just sign in February.
Exactly. But
he's an idiot.
He wants early enrollment. And I'm like, dude, just wait until the end of December and sign early enrollment. You're fine. Like, I'm pretty sure this period goes all the way until February or all the way until January, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So just wait till you're 18. And by the way, he tweeted it. It sounds like he has not signed the Tennessee paperwork, but his mom has.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy. So other than that, I mean, it was a pretty general good day for the Buckeyes. We had pretty much everyone we thought that was going to come in. I don't think there was any more flips that we really lost on other than wide receivers. Oh, never mind. I forgot.
The number one guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Chris Henry, yes. And then we did lose the other receiver to when he went to USC.
Yeah, he at least was known.
Yes.
Chris Henry, what's it called? Said, "Hey, we're doing this." Blah blah blah. So.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Henry pretty much said right on when he picked, he literally said, "Oh, I'm signing with Ohio State," and then what was it? 2 hours later, said, "I haven't made my official decision yet. I'm still weighing options, and coaching is a big to do about it." So, I mean, I could understand that. I mean, Hartline is an awesome recruiter. It's going to be sad to see him leave, but this is his interview to be the next head coach at Ohio State. These next 3, 4, 5 years, even if Ryan Day's there that long. Because I don't know that Ryan Day's there that long. So if you get rolling right away at USF, which they've been pretty good, if you keep rolling and you're winning 2 to 3 years down the road and Ryan Day goes to the NFL, the first call, without a doubt, is Brian Hartline.
Yeah, we can see if you can keep some of those guys there. I'm sure Byram Brown and the rest of them are going to Auburn, but I think Byram has one more year.
He does.
We're looking at it, and I think he does.
Someone can confirm that he has one more year because he was on my fantasy team, which overall this weekend, Cozy's teams against Blake's went a solid 2-0, a fantasy football title on the mantle.
Well, it's not like we beat one of your basketball teams by 50.
Oh, here we go. Game. Yeah, because it's basketball season. It is for you guys.
It is.
Other than that, we can kind of hit on some stuff that happened and go preview championship weekend.
Yeah, last Michigan thing. I did put in for my tickets for the Citrus Bowl, where we'll be losing. Just kidding. I think we might actually beat Texas. It'll be interesting to see what their opt-outs are. We'll have like almost none, but there was a rumor we'd play Vanderbilt, in which case we'd get skull banged. So who knows? Speaking of skull banging, Indiana 56, Purdue 3.
Wasn't even close.
Classic.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch any of these games. I watched the Iron Bowl. Not the Iron Bowl, the Egg Bowl.
Egg Bowl. Yep.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin did the thing. I didn't think he would do it. There's a new trend on Instagram where boyfriends have been explaining to their girlfriends the situation through like, hey, my friend Lane's dating this really cute girl from Ole Miss, but then like this supermodel from LSU, and it's just the funniest thing. But yeah, that happened. As one of the original members of the Lane train since like 2015, when I first got my Twitter account in middle school. Big fan of Lane. I would have loved him to kind of stay, but I mean LSU fucking rules, and Lane being there is going to be so sweet. Very, very, very. And again, as a grudge guy myself, 10 out of 10 from the Ole Miss athletic department letting Charlie Weiss coach, but not Lane. I'm loving it. I mean, I'm just this is what makes college sports so good.
The best is
soap opera. It's our drama. It's perfect.
The best is from that whole situation is they literally put his suit clothes on the corner, on the street corner, just wheeled him out. And I had to ask him, like, is that a real picture? And they're like, oh yeah, they went straight to his locker room and just wheeled it out. And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. I feel bad for Ole Miss players. I want to know how many Ole Miss players actually opt out from playing in the playoffs to go to LSU. Because
that's the weird part.
I know.
I think it's what they have 30 days since the coach
leaves. Plus, we're going to have our normal portal window.
So if you look at it now, Lane left last week?
Yes.
So if Ole Miss wins a playoff game or two, and I don't know, we'll see. It'll get tricky.
Yeah.
This is again why the calendar's stupid. And I do think if there's a coach that would have done this as brazenly as he did to try to actually help the sport, it's Lane Kiffin. Yeah. I know that probably sounds stupid, but I think that there's literally a part of him that was like, I'm going to die for the better of the sport. I know he's a crazy guy and he's an egotistical maniac, and him doing this makes it seem like it's not the case, but I think there's a world where that's the thing. But
no, I agree with you on that. Man, it is sad to see that they kind of dropped the ball there. Few quick hitter Big Ten rundowns. I mean, Friday there was a pretty decent amount of games. We had the Iowa just absolutely destroying Nebraska.
That game ruled.
I watched a lot of it.
First half was awesome. Points factory. I think they scored on all but like one drive in the first half.
I mean, if you would have told me that it was 24-16 at half, I would have said
they over-covered in the first half.
I was like, wait a minute. Okay, so who's playing again? Because, I mean, they were expecting high winds, too, in Nebraska. And there
Mm-hmm.
seemed to be not very high winds.
I think they said that Emmett Johnson had 100 and something yards rushing the first half. He finished
Yeah.
with 217. Tried to help me with the fantasy, but it is what it is. TJ Leaf put up an Underwood stat line, 9 for 24, 69 yards. That's tough.
Outside of that, I mean, we saw Georgia dominate Georgia Tech. We saw Texas actually open up a can of whoop ass on Texas A&M. The game was not close.
Moved up in the playoffs.
They did. I don't think they're going to make it. I don't think they should make it. They lost to Florida. Look, I get there's bad losses and things like that, but that Florida team was 4-8 this year. They were not good. They can claim that if they didn't play Ohio State, they'd be 10-2 and in the driver's seat. And I say to them, I go,
ranked Florida.
Okay,
come on.
Well, here's the thing. You also got to look at it like this. There's still Vandy right there. There's still Miami right there. There's still BYU. You're still probably on the outside looking in at 10-2 right now.
They're
like you're
somehow ahead of Vandy, which don't get me started on that.
Well, they beat Vandy. That's why.
I understand they have more losses.
I know. I will say this. Out of all the games that I was very disappointed in Georgia Tech, Georgia, I thought Georgia Tech was going to actually put up a fight. And it looked like they kind of looked like they didn't even care.
No.
Like, to be honest. Like, once again,
Georgia had a chance to win the game, though. Well, not win the game, go to overtime.
But. Once again, Georgia and Georgia Tech, or Georgia literally doesn't have to play in Atlanta against Georgia Tech at Georgia Tech's home field, which is I don't know how they keep doing this, because that was another home game for Georgia, and I know, I'm aware, but it's just wrong. Like, play.
Brent Key got extended. Their OC just went to Florida. We'll see what they do next year. I mean, they're a fun team. I do like them. They're a fun offense. Whenever you watch Georgia Tech, it's usually a fun game. I know it kind of stunk this game, but normally they have very high-scoring, fun games. So.
To wrap up on Friday, I think I want to touch on one more thing. The wide receiver for Buffalo.
Yeah.
Okay, if you don't know,
on my fantasy team.
Yes.
I have been reaching out to him, potentially seeing if he's interested in moving up to Michigan or something like that. He might be named in the in investigations.
So if you don't know what we're talking about,
this is all allegedly.
Yes, all allegedly. It's McMillan, correct?
No, this is Victor Snow.
Oh, Victor. Okay.
Nick McMillan was the one that cussed him out.
Okay, so this dude caught a pass, and he had no OU. Or they're playing Ohio U. He had no OU defender within 10 yards of him. And I mean, was not going to get caught. He was a wide receiver. And he just casually runs out of bounds at like the 15-yard line. Didn't score the touchdown. And it was a, 15-point lead by Ohio U at that point?
Yeah, it'd been a one-score game.
Yeah.
I think they ended up scoring that drive, but there was still something there.
I'll put it this way. It looked really, really fishy. When he just
again, the other receiver McMillan comes up to him and like grabs him like by the face and asks, "What the hell is your problem? What are you doing?" There's a lot easier ways to throw.
Yes,
I mean, he could have slowed up a little and then like kind of got chased and then stepped out of bounds. But like this guy was 3 steps clear. I don't know. And also in that game, what's going on with their head coach?
I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with OU.
Is he alive? Like I guess they fired him, but like
they've given no explanation. There are rumors swirling, which I believe none of them. It's like it's almost more make believe than the Sharon Moore rumors that are swirling. But it's like crazy. Like there's no explanation. They literally were having a team meeting. Coach was supposed to come in, and the AD comes in and goes, "We have fired your coach. Sorry, it's over." And it's like, we just went 8-4. You had a shot at the MAC title, which we can quickly dive into who's playing in the MAC title and how unfair it is somehow that the tiebreaker worked out this way. But yeah, I mean, very, very weird circumstances around this whole game. Maybe he was in on the cheating because something happened. There's no way the guy runs out of bounds.
I'm telling you, those are the games that you could rig and no one would know.
Correct. I mean,
Man.
you went to a Buffalo game and how many people attended?
Yeah, probably under amount of subscribers we have on this YouTube channel. So
But
I don't know, man. Like,
but you don't do it that way because now everybody in the country sees it.
yeah.
Outside of that, to touch on, since we are talking MAC football, if you guys are wondering, Western Michigan is playing Miami of Ohio because somehow it makes sense that Miami of Ohio, who lost to Ohio and Toledo in conference play, gets to go, but they lost to the other two teams that they are tied with. And somehow the tiebreaker worked out to be in Miami's favor. The MAC never really gave an explanation onto why or which way the tiebreaker went, and I have not heard a clear explanation. And OU fans and Toledo fans that I know are still questioning it and don't understand. The only thing they can come up with is that their common opponents that they lost to somehow prevented them from making it because Miami beat Bowling Green and Toledo lost to Bowling Green, and because Toledo and Ohio didn't play, it screwed everything up, and Ohio lost to some other team that Miami beat, and that's why Miami gets to go because they couldn't do head-to-head.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking right now. It
Yeah,
doesn't really make a lot of sense.
exactly. It's a very weird dynamic there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, wrapping up the last week, we can look at the quick Big Ten games from last week. Oregon took care of Washington in a very chill game. Didn't really see much of that one. Is what it is. UCLA loses to USC. It was 10-7 UCLA at half, and I turned the game on. I was like, "Whoa, hold on a minute here." Nico was moving the ball, but it was kind of like Michigan. They were moving the ball a little bit, but they just couldn't score in the red zone. Minnesota just suffocated Wisconsin. I don't know more than 5 people that watched that game. Penn State, Rutgers in one of the better games of the year, just points factory. Another guy that needs to be investigated is I think it was either Rutgers quarterback or running back. One of them just dropped the ball.
Yes.
And just that was it. And just Penn State picked up and won the game. But
and look how close they are to everybody in that New York, New Jersey area.
That's exactly another New York team. Maryland, well, not New York team, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
Maryland, Michigan State, one of the more fun games too.
Yep.
Michigan State, congrats to them. If only we had representation of them on this podcast. They won their first conference game since actually Ohio State first lost to Michigan in 21. So shout out to them. My favorite stat line of the week, second favorite stat line of the week. Malik Washington was 38 for 61. 459 yards and 3 touchdowns in the pick. And everyone's like, he's better than Bryce. Blah, blah, blah. The dude gets quadruple the value of the volume. So, dude, relax. Like, the dude, I think he has like double the attempts this year than Bryce does.
I mean, the fact that they ran the ball, or they ran 77 plays and they threw it 61 times is one of the most absurd stats. And they still didn't score a ton of points. They still lost this game by 10 points.
No, yeah. Sparty ran the ball 31 times, had 39 passes themselves. If you want to know how bad Michigan's offense and quarterback development at this point, both Spartan quarterbacks had more touchdowns and yards than Bryce Underwood, and less turnovers. But we'll get over that later. Final game of the night was the Snow Globe Bowl. This was Illinois Northwestern, where the over was flying over in the first half. I think it ended up being like the 30s, the over under, because you couldn't even see the field. But Illinois took care of business at the end there, and a sneaky, decent 8-4 season? Question mark.
Failure for them on this season, because
probably, yeah.
I mean, if we look back at the recordings, I had Illinois as a playoff team. I thought that they were definitely destined. I was riding that Illinois wave high early on in the season. They looked very good against Duke. And then they just kind of sputtered after it. the thing is, it's really hard to recover. I could imagine from a team standpoint.
Wasn't it what the Indiana and
The
Ohio State?
The Indiana 63-10 loss, and then you did have a few weeks in between. You beat a USC
It's
team that,
USC next week. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you recovered, but you knew. I think it was just the way the schedule fell, and going all the way out to Washington right after getting pounded by Ohio State. It was just all too much for them, and I really think that's where the wheels kind of fell off. And I mean, here's the thing. You also finally started getting going again, and then you lost to Wisconsin. So I think it's failure of a season. Now, granted, Wisconsin fans love to beat Illinois, especially right now, because Brett Bielema decided I was going to up and leave and just left them high and dry, went to Arkansas. And yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that very disappointing season for Illinois, in my opinion. They should have been 10-2 probably. They probably should have beaten Washington. Definitely should have beaten Wisconsin.
Yeah, for sure. Looking into it now, Vanderbilt takes care of Tennessee. Texas Tech destroys West Virginia. Oklahoma survives against LSU. Now, look, I know it's the best teams and whoever we want to be available in this. Oklahoma's a really bad football team right now.
They are not good. In
Notre
Tennessee,
Dame
worse.
Notre Dame beats Stanford like a drum. Alabama survives against Auburn. BYU comes back from UCF. They were down 14-0, won by 20. Virginia beats Virginia Tech. Cal upsets SMU for the funniest scenario ever to happen. Tulane shuts out Charlotte. And I think this is my lock of the week. Miami beats the hell out of Pitt.
Yeah, they did. Oh, yeah.
And that means, looking at the ACC.
Okay. Look, out of all these teams to get in,
the 7-5 Duke Blue Devils are in the SEC or the ACC championship game. This right here.
This is where we get controversy to happen. This is where you get everything totaling all in one, just pure pandemonium happening. There are two things that could happen this weekend that could create the most outrageous, the worst scenario for the committee. This is their worst nightmare. You have Duke with a 7-5 record playing a 11-1. Is it 11? No, 10-2 Virginia Cavalier team. The crazy thing is, and I was actually talking in a space last night with ACC fans, Virginia technically has lost 2 games to ACC opponents this year.
Correct.
But because NC State and Virginia do not play each other in the conference and have not for about 3 years, and they will not for another 3 years, they decided we're close enough. We're going to schedule as a non-conference game. Now NC State won. Obviously, I don't know how the tiebreakers would have went, and we had even more teams at 6-2, 7-2, whatever they are.
Awesome.
Yeah. Look, congrats to Duke because you backdoored your way into this, which is just absolutely amazing. And the fact that you're going to play for the ACC title, and it's actually a very winnable game for you. Yeah, this is does the committee who do they put in? Actually, that's not even their worst dream scenario. Their worst dream scenario is Troy upsets James Madison and then Duke wins.
Yeah, I think then that would be the Mountain West's winner.
What are we sure that UNLV or Boise winner?
If it would be UNLV, that'd be the one that would probably get in.
But if Boise wins, then Duke would get in at a 7-5 or 8-5 now.
No.
So who would go?
I think Mountain West. I think they'd put UNLV over them.
But I'm saying if Boise
possibility where Duke gets in.
But what if Boise beats UNLV?
What's Boise looking at?
Boise's at 8-4 right now.
8-4, geez.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe Kennesaw State? No.
They're 9-3.
I don't even know, man.
That I'm telling you, this is worst case scenario. Troy beats James Madison, and then you have Duke beat Virginia.
Yeah, I guess, man. I don't know. I mean, that's crazy because I was thankfully the Americans got two good teams, so that's one spot.
Yep.
Man, I don't know. God bless. I mean, I think it'd be pretty good poetic justice that we would get it. So whatever team that's this bad is probably playing Old Miss. So Old Miss gets screwed and they get given back something good, which would be nice. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, but I'm not sure Ole Miss wants to see a team like Duke, who does have some firepower. I will say this: Ole Miss did play Tulane earlier this year, and they stomped them.
Yeah, and Tulane beat Duke.
Correct. So,
sport.
This could get real crazy. Now, granted, I'm sure this won't happen. Everything will be fine, and there will be no helter skelter like craziness happening. I think James Madison, they're up first Friday, 7 p.m. I think they'd handle business easily against Troy.
Maybe one of the crazier upsets we've ever seen.
Yes, I mean it's a 23.5 point favorite for
hiring Billy Napier, by the way. That's
interesting. Very good hire. I love that. And here's the thing: I think they got tired of hiring coaches that were going to be 2 years and done, and I kind of feel like Napier's got to rebuild his image, and it's going to take at least 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good move by JMU. You got a coach that is probably who's already won in the conference that you're in, because he was with Louisiana.
Yep.
And then, yeah, I mean, smart hire, great hire. They're gonna roll against Troy. I think they will roll. Next up, Conference USA Championship, Kennesaw State, Jacksonville State. It's kind of unfortunate that Kennesaw State's not hosting this because they play in a high school stadium. But I like Jacksonville State a lot.
I have no idea on this game. I'm not even gonna give you the time of day because I don't know what's going.
I am going to roll with Cam Cook, who was my fantasy running back in Jacksonville State, because he's good. I mean, he had.
I followed him a bit more when they had Rich Rod last year, and they had that tough kid that would just rip SIGs. By the way, he enlisted in the Marines.
Oh,
he
wow.
Was a 5-year quarterback for Jacksonville State. And like 5 minutes after they won their bowl, or they lost their bowl game to Ohio, the Bahamas Bowl, I think it was.
Yep.
Awesome bowl game, by the way. He just enlisted in the Marines. So there's that. A very fun game. What we're just talking about, a playoff play-in game. North Texas, Tulane. Battle of two teams. Coaches are gone. I absolutely love North Texas.
Now the coaches are staying for this game, right?
I think so.
Okay.
They got this kid, Caleb Hawkins, a running back for North Texas.
Yes.
I hope he goes to Oklahoma State because that'd be sweet.
Yep.
He is unreal. I don't know the exact number. I can get it in a second if I need to, but I think it's legitimately like 15 touchdowns the last 4 weeks. It's crazy. So this kid with that offense, Merklenberger and the rest of those guys, I think they're going to be awesome at OK State next year. And I think they take care of business here. Tulane always flirts with death. I don't know, but
yeah,
I like the under as well in this game. I think it'll be a bit more tight than the normal happy go fun 40-40 American we normally see.
Okay, I hope I'm gonna brace you. Caleb Hawkins, 16 touchdowns in the past 4 weeks.
That's what I'm saying. This guy's
16.
unreal.
And I mean their quarterback's great. Their head coach going to Oklahoma State. I actually think he's bringing the quarterback with him, right?
We think. I think.
I would think so.
Indiana's been talking to the quarterback quite a bit.
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, their quarterback is a true freshman. He's from Austin, Texas. So maybe Texas needs a quarterback. Anyways, yeah, this game's going to rock. It's actually, I would say if I had to do a lock of the week, I know there's a limited amount of games, but I think it's North Texas. Tulane's offense is just not good enough. and I think North Texas is going to put up points after points after points. I mean, if you go look at both losses for Tulane, yeah, they gave up a lot of points. Obviously, Ole Miss, they were outnumbered, but they also gave up a lot of points to UTSA when they lost, and they just couldn't match their point total. If you go
And
look,
UTSA ran down their throats.
correct, and if you go look at all their wins, they're getting around. Some of their wins are in the they're scoring in the 20s. Yeah, I kind of like North Texas here, even though they're on the road. I like them a lot. And to finish up the Friday night, UNLV Boise. I would probably. I kind of like
Boise
Boise.
was a bad team this year. They figured out against UNLV to kind of get
Yes.
them going down the stretch.
Yeah.
I mean, this will be points, a lot of them. This will be outside at Boise State's field. I'm like
Yes,
90%
it
sure.
is correct. Yes, it's at Boise State.
I mean, Boise
Um,
will probably figure it out. Dan Mullen, I'm sure, is going to have a lot of head coaching rumors because, after 1 year, he kind of turned around a UNLV program. And I guess not a turned around because they've been, I think this was the exact matchup last year for the title game. But, I mean, you're in the American, or you're in the Mountain West, it is what it is. But, so I'll go with Boise State here. I know they're obviously a 4.5 point favorite. So, I mean, might as well cover that too. Who cares? But over for 57.5 for sure.
yeah, I agree with that. Yep. On to Saturday slate. I've always found it interesting that the Big 12 has a Saturday game at noon for their Big 12 championship kickoff. They've even had this when they had Oklahoma and Texas, and we're still on the same playing level as the SEC and the Big Ten, if we can say they were on the same.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. It's a noon kickoff. It's in Jerry's world. These teams have already played once, and it was not even close. And granted, there was a lot of BYU mistakes that got it to be 20. It was 29-0.
And it was in Lubbock.
And it was yes. Now it is sold out, and I can only imagine there are going to be a ton of Texas Tech fans there because they have never had this success probably since Crabtree. And even then, they didn't even make the Big 12 title game then because they were in a division with Oklahoma and Texas.
Yeah.
I think they're excited. I think they're pumped up. Yeah, I kind of feel like it's going to be Texas Tech again. Although I would love to see BYU win, just because
Notre Dame.
I don't know if they would do that, but
Absolutely.
now you get to the point where it's Notre Dame and Miami talk starts.
Notre Dame and Bama talk starts.
Well, Bama hasn't lost yet.
That's exactly what it is. But I think BYU covers here.
Yep.
They got a free bump from the Crumble Cookie CEO / Pat Kraft being a terrorist. You wait all year to get a Mormon to leave that for Happy Valley. God bless. Texas Tech is awesome. I think I'm going to make them my team I root for in the playoffs, as I don't have one again. Thank you, Sharon. I'll go get a stack of tortillas, maybe put 20 to 30 bucks on them to win the title at plus, I think, 1,100. I think they have, Cozy and I talked about this the other night, I think they're one of 2 or 3 teams that have the trenches that could, battle with Ohio State and make it competitive, potentially. So I would think they would take care of business here, but I think BYU gets that coach bump. They want to make a statement. I think if they keep this close, they should get in the playoff. And I know that's probably kind of loser talk, but I mean, you're 11-1, and you got teams like Notre Dame ahead of you. You've got better wins than Notre Dame.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a better loss too than Notre Dame potentially.
Yeah.
I mean, Texas Tech's ranked higher than both those guys. So I don't know, man. It's a travesty some of these teams are getting left out. Like the fact that Vanderbilt's not even in the discussion is kind of ridiculous. But because you watch Vanderbilt and you watch Oklahoma,
Yes, it's night and
You'd
day.
rather watch paint dry than you watch Oklahoma because having
Yeah.
Pappy in the playoffs, you know that kid will die on the field. I
Yep.
mean, dudes warm up in with ski masks on in victory formation. Like that's awesome, but whatever. But that's not even this game. Give me the under and give me BYU.
Oh, you like the under? I have to tend to agree on the under, and I think it's going to be something like a 17 to like 6 kind of game.
Sure,
Unfortunately,
that makes
for
it under very easy.
yeah, I think it's going to be very very low scoring, but I think it's going to be one of those games. It's going to kind of be like Ohio State and Michigan last week, where after about the midway through the second quarter, you were kind of like, okay, Ohio State's definitely better. They're controlling this game. They're not going to put up a lot of points. It'll be okay for the cover, etc. It'll be okay for the cover here. Um, I think it's going to be might be 14-6 might be my final.
Whew.
Something, yeah, something where very low scoring. Texas Tech doesn't put up points. They're not that high flashy offense again.
No, not
Um,
at all.
but I cannot wait for their quarterback next year to be Dylan Royola. Because I mean,
Wow. Oh,
um,
geez, I didn't put that together.
yeah, glad you picked up on that.
I actually kind of rule.
Uh,
Miami, Ohio, Western Michigan for the MAC championship, and we kind of touched on this a little bit
yes,
already. I do like what I was seeing from my Ohio kids, but Western's just a little bit better. This is my lock of the week last year, my lock of the week when Miami of Ohio got blown out by Ohio.
yep.
Actually, no, it was Toledo, I think. I don't know.
No, it was
One of
Ohio.
them.
It was Ohio.
I'm thinking of 2 years ago. This year was
Yeah.
yeah, it was Ohio won by 100.
Yes.
Never in doubt. Parker Navarro and Seth Bangura.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah, they absolutely blew them out. They have them pretty much the same team back this year, and didn't make it. Whatever. I thought my Bulls could make it. They're terrorists and clearly gambling against themselves, so not my fault. But yeah, give me the Broncos. Shout out
Uh,
Gary.
yeah, I'm gonna say give me the Broncos too. Miami of Ohio lost their starting quarterback. Wild story, by the way. The guy just quit. Said he's gonna
Stephon Fit and said, "I'm good."
and said, I'm just gonna go train for the NFL. I just would like to know who's advising him because I don't think he's getting drafted in the NFL. I don't think he's making an NFL roster, unfortunately. But good for him. Go live your dream. I will say this: Miami of Ohio did rally around their team pretty decently. Do they deserve to be here, though? Like I said before, somehow head-to-head matchups in the MAC do not matter, and no, they don't, which is kind of weird because I almost feel like that benefits them because now everybody's complaining and up in arms that they went there. I'm going to do it. I think Miami of Ohio actually wins. I do. I'm changing my pick. I think Miami of Ohio actually wins this game because everybody's downing them. No one thinks they should be here, and that's all the buzz right now. No one thinks they should be here.
Don't hate it.
And then we got a nice 4 o'clock SEC championship game. Game day is there, even though our championship is a 1-2 matchup. But game day has to go to Alabama and Georgia because
Politics.
there's so much meaning in this game. Let me tell you. It's just to this point, if Georgia doesn't beat Alabama, when the playoff bracket comes out, Georgia's got to be sitting there going, don't put us anywhere near Alabama.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I think you could be staring down an Alabama Georgia bye kind of situation if they decide, hey, SEC champ deserves a bye and they put Alabama at a bye. Does Georgia fall to like that 5 seed? And do we have a 5 versus 4 Bama Georgia matchup in the next round of the playoffs?
yeah, it gets really tricky.
I know.
Alabama they own them. You're giving me
Yeah.
points of
Yeah.
a team that doesn't lose to this team. I think in this game in particular, I believe it's 4-0 Alabama. Obviously, those were all with Saban, but Georgia's a far superior team in my opinion. But They can't beat the boogeyman. So roll Tide. I think it's kind of easy. Because Alabama's so flawed on so many different ways. They can't run the football. They have questionable defense. But hey, they just keep winning games. They keep winning games. And again, Kirby, man, if it wasn't for that game earlier this season, I'd be hammering Georgia here. But
Yeah.
I mean, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 3 or 4 or 5 times, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt about it that you think you're going into this game and you're thinking that Alabama's winning, right? Like I'm never
I'm
thinking the
pretty
second level.
confident. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be in a game this close.
No, it should not. But I mean, let's actually see. I'm looking it up right now. How many they've won in a row?
Like 3 or 4.
So Georgia did get them the national title, which was in
pretty good one to beat the streak.
Yeah, that was a pretty good win to beat the streak. But before that, I mean, wow, they hadn't beaten them since 2007. And there's been some pretty big games that they played in. Like, here we go. SEC title 2012, SEC national championship 2018, SEC title 2018, SEC title 2021, SEC title 2023. Like, there is just all these games that should have won by Georgia. I mean, Georgia in some of these games, it's like you read down the line of all these losses. Georgia ranked third, eighth, third, fourth, third, number one in the country, number 2 in the country, number 5 in the country. I mean, they just played them as the number 5 team in the country and got beat at home as playing what we would kind of consider. That was kind of the turning point for Bama in the season.
100%.
That was literally their turning point. And now they're getting to see them in Atlanta. I don't think Georgia's any too happy. The one thing is, though, the pressure is kind of all on Alabama. I don't think they want to leave it up to the committee to say, hey, this is kind of another thing with the committee. Are they going to penalize Bama enough if they lose this game to get kicked out of the playoff? Because if you do, then not next year, but the year after, I think, we're done with conference championship games. They're not going to want to risk it. This also goes with, we can roll right into it, the Big Ten title game. Both of us are in the playoffs. Not both of us are guaranteed a bye if we were to lose. If I'm the Big Ten and Ohio State, let's say, beats Indiana, and let's say it's like not even close. Like, let's say we are clicking on all cylinders and it's like 45 to like 10 for a final, or 45-17 for a final, something like that. Does the committee look at that and go, oh, Indiana, you're not that good. We're dropping you out of a bye. You are what you were last year. You finally played a good team in Ohio State and you stunk. But
this guy's cooking right now.
If you're saying it and you literally go into this and say, hey, we're not going to give you a bye, then you probably might not even get Oregon as a bye either, because Oregon lost to Indiana and probably has to stay behind Indiana.
You'd like to think so, yeah.
So you would think so. You would.
A lot dumber things in this sport.
Trust me, I have. But if you're telling me that your team that's number 2 in the country right now loses out on a bye because they got crushed in the Big Ten title game, 2 years down the road, we won't have a Big Ten title game. And that's kind of what this playoff has done.
I think we're going to be shifting ourselves towards these are play-in games.
Correct. I also think we are going to be shifting ourselves to, when you say play-in games, I think you mean Vanderbilt is going to play Miami on this weekend, which has been talked about. Vanderbilt has reached out to Miami, tried to get a game scheduled to be like, hey, committee, come look at us. This is a quality win.
You could do like Vandy, Texas, Michigan, USC.
Yep.
Some other ones, I guess, for each conference, but who knows?
I will say this. When we go to, and I believe there's going to be an expansion on this, and there's going to be auto bids. The auto bids will be playing, and it will be, because we have 4 auto bids, it won't be the 1 versus 2 Big Ten championship. That might be fine. They might still do it. But you're going to have 3 versus 6 and 4 versus 5, and the winner of those 2 games go, and the losers are out. which,
Yeah.
I mean, if we look at the Big Ten right now, it would be our matchups would be Ohio State, Indiana, obviously. Oregon would play, which would be phenomenal. Oregon would actually play Iowa, and USC would play Michigan. And the games would be in Oregon and USC. Which you guys would have another shot to go back out on the West Coast. Not saying you'd win that game because it was not a great road trip. I can tell.
I'll pass. I should decline that.
But I think Iowa would love it. Iowa would have a chance to play their way into the playoffs if they beat Oregon. Now, granted, it's in Oregon. But do you not think that some of these games would be looked about more as like, hey, by the way, we already know who the conference champions are, who's making it. These 1 and the 2 seeds are definitely in. I don't know. I just, you got to have at some point where this just matters because, I mean, by ticket price, our game matters a lot, considering it's now $750 to get my foot in the door, which I will not be paying. Yes. Oh, that's not a joke, by the way. That's without fees.
I think it was like $10 last year.
Yeah, I know. Ohio State making it for the first time in 5 years that we
I
can
think
go.
it's more in Indiana. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, and Indiana making it for the first time and playing in their home state, 30 minutes away from campus. Like, yeah, kind of. You know what? Here's the thing. Looking at hotels, hotels are very cheap over there right now. Because everybody's from Indiana that's probably going.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think we're heading down that road where you are right, where we are going to have 3 versus 6 and 4 versus 5, which it's kind of wild and crazy to think about. In the SEC, the 3 versus 6 matchup is Ole Miss versus Oklahoma, and the 4 versus 5 matchup is Texas A&M against Texas.
Yeah.
But I will do a real quick rundown. I feel like 4 is not enough. I felt like 6.5 with the line open as is not enough. The money must all be on Indiana, and I'm totally fine with that. Please think that Indiana is great. I've heard a lot of smack talk from Indiana fans this week. There is a podcast that is similar to ours called Kirkwood Street or something. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I've been bookmarking a lot of their stuff because they are basically at one point said Ohio State fans don't know how much this means to Indiana fans. They could never understand the capability of this.
I do agree with that. I agree with that actually completely. Ohio State fans, like, it's just what makes it so much more for fans of all of us other teams is you guys have never really sucked.
Correct. And I agree with that. I actually texted someone.
On games where I've lost at home to Toledo.
Yes. I've actually texted someone earlier this season, and I said, I'm so happy for Vandy, but I'll never have the same kind of joy as Vandy has.
No, like they go 10-2, and it's like that's the thing. It's always a Twitter discourse. So it's always with Ohio State fans. Sorry, but it's like, they went like 10-2, and it's like, holy smokes, best season ever. And it's like, we're your natties, bro. We're your conference championship, bro. We're your natties, bro. We're Ohio State, bro. It's like, dude, they had like the best season of their lives, dude. Winning a game would be the best season in our lives. Like Wisconsin fans lost it when they beat Washington, and they're a good team. It's just like, you can never take these things for granted. Look at Penn State right now. You think Penn State's not going to celebrate the next 10-win season?
The one thing that I did catch as well was that he said there is no way Indiana scores less than 24 points on this team.
Yeah, those guys are idiots.
Yes.
That part they were very right on.
But no, I do agree with it to a certain extent. This is like Indiana's coming out party. If Indiana were to lay a goose egg here, I actually think there might be more Indiana fans there than Ohio State fans. And
a lot of them have the same fan base. A lot of Indiana fans used to root for Ohio State. They either root for Ohio State or Notre Dame. So
I will say this, knowing the ticketing distribution, I don't know what the Big Ten did this year, but normally each school gets around 25,000 tickets. This year, the Big Ten limited it to 7,500 tickets sold to fans and basically sold to the schools. So outside of the 15,000, the rest of the tickets were public sale bought when they went on sale way back in August. I don't know if a lot of Indiana fans have been buying them up or whatnot, but like right now, there's only about 2,000 tickets on the market for sale. So there's not a lot of people selling, and it's very high demand. But once again, I can miss a game because I'm not paying $750. I would rather go to a playoff game. Considering you've said this, and I will say this game means much less than last week did. Much less.
Yeah.
Like this game to me said the only thing they benefit is you stay undefeated and you win a Big Ten title, which I would love to do. We haven't done it since COVID, but I do think we get it done. I think it's going to be a 38-13 is my score prediction. I think we kind of blow them
31-10.
I think we kind of blow them out of the water early and then kind of just have a 10 to 12 minute drive second half, and then maybe another like 7-minute drive second half and just call it a day.
I think it's going to be a replay of last week.
Okay.
They might get up early.
Yep.
But, I mean, I've seen when that guy Mendoza gets blitzed.
Yeah.
Now, it happened a little bit against Purdue. He had a pretty rough first quarter and a half against Purdue.
He only
Penn
had
State, he was in hell.
Yeah.
Even against Oregon, he played like shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Dante was even worse. So,
yeah,
the fact that he's in the Heisman race is disgusting. It should be Pavia's award, but whatever.
I agree with that.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Everyone knows where I'm at with Indiana. I have zero faith in them. I think they're a bunch of front-running cowards, and I think Ohio State kills them. So, I already have I forgot what my lock of the week was. North Texas. If I had a second one, it'd be Ohio State, but might just put those money lines together and pay for lunch.
But
I will be taking Duke in the final game. I want chaos. I'm rooting for chaos.
Man.
The
I forgot. We did not touch on that. Okay.
Fine. We did a little bit earlier. The ACC top to bottom has been just the definition of how to shoot yourself in the foot the entire season. So the most fitting thing would be for them to miss the playoff entirely.
What was it? There was the 1 week where Virginia lost to Wake and Louisville lost to Cal. That was it. Yep. And
Cal screwed over them. Cal beat them, and it would have been SMU. It would have been SMU versus what's it called too. But
yes, correct.
They decided to do that too.
Cal has decided to play good enough ball to just ruin the whole league.
And that was the point too. I had earlier. If you watched the Iron Bowl, there was a couple flags where it was like, huh?
Yep.
And it's like, hey, ACC, you know how easy it is to rig games?
The ACC has now have the replay guys in the microphones. So you can't even cheat that way.
But you can still throw some flags. You can't review flags.
I know. But now you can't even cheat on the replays. No. Like, I watched that Iron Bowl, and some of the flags, you are right, were absolutely absurd. And I thought when it got tied at 20, I thought, oh boy, here we go. This is weird voodoo magic of Jordan Hare coming about. And there's always these crazy things that happen.
I love Kalen DeBoer for going for it.
Oh, yes, I agree. But
his play is in short yardage.
Yeah.
I will say the last thing, because just can't even talk about short yardage.
Yeah.
Ohio State ran this kind of anti-OPI screenplay thing on the goal line.
Yes.
Where they had some tight end in Innis run the same slant. Woo!
Yeah, it was very much unguardable by you guys.
Yeah, and it's not like we had 2 or 3 freshmen in there playing defense. I was counting out the whole time. I'm like, okay, cool. That play we had 8 backups in that play. Whatever. We're getting a new DC. We already got rid of our terrorist special teams coordinator. 10-yard punt. 10-yard punt.
Yeah.
10-yard punt.
I was sitting next to a bunch of Ohio State fans, and there were 2 Michigan fans by us. And the one guy just literally, I remember he just face palmed when it happened. I was just like, oh, well, thanks
all
for the
year done it.
Just
Like, it's how expensive could a friggin' Aussie punter be, man?
hey, we have 3 of them, and we're not even using the one.
We had a punter retire in preseason camp because his kid beat him out. How much does that kid suck?
Yeah, that's not great. Yeah, that I mean that was at the point of the game too, where you guys were like trying to actually like do
It was a one
something.
score game, I believe.
Yeah, it was. It was right after.
We were down 8.
Yeah,
Um,
it was.
we
It
had to
was your
stop at a half, and it's like, holy shit, we have life. And it's like, nope, just kidding.
yes, and then you went 3 and out, and then or you went no, you got a first down, I think, and then you had to punt on a 3 and out, and then it was like then we got the ball, and that's when we hit Cardinal Tate with the 50-yard touchdown pass. I mean,
Yep.
that was pretty
He
much
was open. Jeremiah was
yes.
open. Anyone was open.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of
Barely.
people open on that play. I've seen the replay of that. There was about 4 receivers open, and he threw it to the right one to get a touchdown, but he could have went to anybody.
That's the only thing that could get that game close in Indiana is if there are guys that are probably about just as good as Marsh, or as open as Marsh was. You'd
Yeah.
think the number 1 pick and Heisman favorite can hit somebody that's open, but we'll see. I've seen crazier things happen.
Yes, and that's why we play the game.
Yeah, because Dave, a funny thing that I knew when Ohio State was locked in was after the game, but they were talking about it today. So Dave Portnoy and what's his name are best friends. Matt Patricia from the Patriots days.
Yep.
And Matt Patricia literally said, he's like, why didn't you come hang out with us after the game on the sideline? He's like, why didn't you come down the sideline and hang with us? Not even like being an asshole. He's like, why don't you come say hi before the game? He's like, you guys banned me from the stadium. Yep. He's like, oh shit, I had no idea. Like, what? Oh my God. Like, he's like, I didn't even know that you had beef like that. And it's like, this man's so dialed that he's not even online. And meanwhile, I got Sharon blocking accounts still, name searching himself. So, jeez.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I love the addition of Matt Patricia. And
he's the man, dude. I said it in my post game rant. The Lions fans they're like, oh, this guy sucks. Like, no, he's not a good head coach. Like, it's hard to do both.
There was unfortunately a lot of bookmarks on my old account for Michigan fans who are going at Matt Patricia and
Lions fans.
Yes. But I mean,
you see with that much talent, like Ohio State's better than everybody at every position. You don't even have to be good at schemes. Like, you can just out talent everyone. Like, granted, he is putting up pretty good schemes as well. So it's like, of course it's going to work.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you, I called like 3 blitzes that we had in the game, and the lady next to me looked at me and she goes, how did you know that was coming? I'm like, well, it was a guess because he just schemes it up so well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he schemes it up amazingly well.
Like Michigan, you know what they're doing before the play happens. Both sides of the ball.
I might have scripted some of your plays on offense because I was like, oh, they're going run left here. Oh, they're giving it away. They're going run.
Once again, Sharon takes the reins. He said, it's not officially confirmed, but he all but said that after the first play of the game, he changed the game plan.
Oh.
He said, he's like, oh, we can run it down their throats. We're throwing everything out. And because one of the players was like, yeah, we worked on a lot of stuff. Like, you know, they were like, oh, we worked on a lot of trick plays, a lot of stuff, blah, blah, blah. And we ran none of it. Michigan didn't even attempt almost like a play action, barely like fake play, let alone that. Because that's always the one thing. Michigan always has 1 or 2, either flea flicker or Donovan Edwards' annual pass. You know, we didn't even have a lick of that happening, but it is what it is. We were on our running back 3, no excuses, but we'll have 3 really good running backs next year, so we'll be fine.
If barring injuries, everyone should be fine. But
we have an injury every year, at least one running back every year. So, man.
Other than that, I don't really got much for championship week. It was a good week for me.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I almost said the words back to normal in my video, but thankfully I didn't. So, but yeah, so that's all we got for now. Like and subscribe. I got to go watch the Lions fight for their lives. Looks like St. Brown took enough meth to be able to play. So I might have to start him in fantasy. I'm going to figure that out right now. But he screwed me last week, so we'll see what happens. But thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe. About damn time Cozy won one of these games, one of these episodes. So, you know, we had to do that.
Absolutely. Go Bucks.
See you guys later.